We are at Il Laboratorio del Gelato, and I'm so excited today to be talking about ice cream or gelato sundaes, because a sundae is a classic no matter the season. What's so appealing about a sundae?
It's just that combination of ice cream flavor and texture and sweetness, and it's kind of just like a surprise in a bowl.
The piling on is one of those things where you have to really be careful, because you can go too far. You can also have that sort of sad situation where you don't quite have enough. How do you find the balance in an ice cream sundae?
Yeah, I think it can be sad both ways, right? Not enough and then too much, because if you put marshmallow sauce and hot fudge and caramel, it just becomes a big soup in there, because it's going to all kind of melt. And too much hot stuff is going to melt the ice cream too fast. When we invented our signature sundae, ours is, a fruit flavor, a chocolate, and nut, vanilla, kind of has to be in there, I felt. And then texture and flavor of the toppings. I chose to have a bed of bananas and crunchy meringue on the bottom, and then just simple hot fudge and whipped cream and some cherries on top. And sometimes less is more.
And let's talk about texture, because I think one of the fun things, ice cream, and especially gelato, has its own wonderful texture. And then when you're adding on to that, how do you sort of think through when you're making a sundae, sort of what textures work and what don't?
Yeah, well, everyone likes crunch, but anything that gives chocolate chips would be fine, but it's a different kind of crunch. I think the crunch of a cookie, what's great about a meringue cookie is, and they're really simple to make, right? They're just egg whites and sugar. Is that it provides a crunch, but it's not heavy.
Right.
There's a lightness about it, and so it's not taking away too much also from the ice cream, because it doesn't have a lot of flavor.
Right.
It has a nice little sweetness and a nice amount of crunch to complement any ice cream.
And so one of the things that you have in your sundae that I think is an awesome idea is like the bed at the bottom, because there's nothing sadder than kind of getting to the end and being like, oh, I've lost all my sundae stuff. So when you think about the building of the layers, how do you go about that to kind of make sure that each bite is good?
It doesn't mean that you're done with the ice cream and then there's all this topping at the bottom. It means as you're digging into your scoops, you're getting to the bottom, and you're getting some of that crunch and banana in every bite.
So you're going to show us the steps to your signature sundae. Are you ready to show us?
I am.
Awesome. All right, so I'm so excited. We now have the full setup for your classic sundae. So
we do.
Let me know the steps.
This is our signature sundae. So bananas first. A banana. We usually do half a banana on the bottom. You take the banana, you score it in the center like that, okay? And then that's going to go right in there. And then stir that around, make sure it's evenly distributed. Very important.
You don't want to get one whole hunk of banana.
No. And then again, these are just meringue. That's egg whites and sugar whipped up. I leave them in the oven for about 12 hours on very low. Most recipes don't call for that much, but I find they get to a really great crunch. With the longer you do it at lower heat. So that's really our bed.
Base.
It's really taking up about a third of the container, right? But the ice cream will weigh it down a bit. These are the flavors I chose for this. Again, anyone who comes into the shop can do whatever they want. Right. But this is the base.
This is the tried and true.
Exactly. So vanilla, black cherry. We use Amarino cherries, and some pistachio, and some dark chocolate.
And more chocolate.
Hot fudge. We make it here. It's just bitter, sweet chocolate and cream melted down. Usually I'm pretty generous with this. It's just nice to get a nice coating on top, and then
you don't want to run out of chocolate.
It does kind of make its way downward into the banana and meringue. That's not
pretty
a bad
great.
thing. Not a bad thing either.
Yeah.
And then we're doing our own whipped cream these days.
And for people at home, is this kind of one of the key things to make your whipped cream? It really adds an extra layer to it.
No, I'm not a big whipped cream snob. I think it's nice to make your own, but if you can't and you got the can, there's nothing wrong with that.
Do what you got to do. All right, I like it.
Then we usually top it off with a couple of cherries. There you go.
And that's it. It's the Il Laboratorio del Gelato perfect sundae.
Shall I get you a spoon?
Oh, you don't have to tell me twice to eat a sundae. Okay. But thank you, John, so much for teaching us the tricks of making sundaes. Really appreciate it. And obviously, if you don't want to make one for yourself at home, you can always come in here to Il Laboratorio del Gelato.
You can.
How's my pronunciation?
Not bad.
Okay.
Not bad.
Thank you.